Hey everybody, welcome back to Magic Orthodoxy. My name's David and this is a magic review. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Got a question for you. Have you ever seen a magician like out in the real world, like yourself? Like, I don't know, you went to a restaurant, you're there with your buddies, and a magician walks up to the table and says, hey, I want to show you a couple things. And your friends are like, he's a magician too, or whatever. Or maybe you're just walking down the street and there's a guy like doing balloons, animals, and doing cups and balls. And you're like, hey, let's stop and watch the magician. You ever seen like another magician out there in the real world, in your real world? It's kind of cool. I always stop and watch. I always act like, you know, the best spectator I can. I'll never tell someone that I know how to do magic or that I know what they're doing. I always wait till they leave. Case in point, today we're going to talk about the shell game, right? The shell game. Shell game is, you know, find the P. The P is underneath one of the shells and you move it around. It's Monty style effect, you know, 3-card Monty you do with cards, follow the queen. It's cups and balls, right? You find the ball and it's moving under the cups. Same thing, different props. If you're a busker, a street magician, you probably got one under your tool belt. This is Louie Foxx's Russian shell game. All right, so Louie Foxx, hocus-pocus.com. This is Louie's great white whale. This is the trick that he has been dreaming about for 15 years. It's his staple effect. It's in his busking routine, and it is a shell game, right? It's a shell game. Start with the 3 larger shells, and you have your little green pea. Throw it underneath. And you just have the spectator follow you and say, okay, where do you think the P is? And his routine doesn't move fast at all. The spectator should always think they know, right? He moves slow enough that they think they know. And they usually get 3, I think there's 3 tries that he says, you know, like, you think it's here or there or there. They're wrong, it's in the middle. And then does it again, and then does it again. But the 3rd time, his kicker is he starts going, well, it's not here or here or here or here or here. And as he's doing that, he's lifting these shells up and there's another one underneath and another shell underneath until at the end, there's 15 shells on the table. And you turn this tiny little shell over and the P's underneath there. What a kicker. And really, this is Louie's version of the classic, you know, you lift the cup up and there's a large sponge ball under there that's been under there the entire time. Or you lift the cup up and there's an orange there, right? It's always that kicker at the end that there's something underneath that we couldn't possibly have noticed before. And so in Louie's case, it's, you know, 12 other shells. All right, let's talk about what you get. Let's say you pay your $75 to hocus-pocus.com. What are you gonna get? This is all from Louie, okay? He makes, manufactures, produces boxes. He's a one-man show. So this all comes in a cardboard box, right? Louie's cut out the middleman. He's not going into production. He's trying to save you money by just making the props himself and sending them onto you. You're gonna get all 15 shells. They're 3D printed, I think. So you're gonna say like, you know, how well are they made? I believe they're 3D printed and then painted and glossed. So you get all 15 shells, and then you get the little fake P. The P is from School of Scoundrels, okay? And he even gives you a website if you want to get more. And you'll get a piece of paper with a download code to the video. Video's, like I said, 15 minutes long. Is it what I thought? Well, yeah, it's absolutely what I thought. It's a standard shell game with a kicker. It's fun. How are the angles, and can it be inspected? Totally, right? Totally. So there's nothing to hide at the end when everything's out on the table. If they wanted to touch your shells, they can. What's the overall quality and production value of the video? It's one shot all the way through. Camera is waist high so that you can get Louie and the table. Sound-wise, it's good. There's some light music in the background. As far as what he's gonna teach you, he starts off by doing the entire trick for you with no cuts, no edits. He shows you the entire thing. He'll cover what's in the box. He'll cover some shell basics, and then he'll explain his routine. At the end, he'll give you some history of the effect with full crediting, and he even closes by talking about the surface that you work on, and he has some final thoughts. Pocket space, it's not really pocket space, right? I mean, Louie does keep these in his jacket pockets, but this is a busking routine, so you're probably gonna put this into some sort of briefcase, something that you carry for walk around, because you also need a mat or a table to perform on. How much practice does this require? Well, of course, it's going to require some practice. I'm going to say no difficult sleights, okay? It's nothing knuckle busting. It's just memorizing the routine. Of course, there's some palming and there's some ditching, there's loading. There's a lot of traditional shell moves, all of which Louie is going to teach you. He's going to walk you through those. A lot of just casual ditching and loading, like I said. Setup and reset, kind of covered that. I mean, it's just stacking all the shells up. Louie keeps all the shells in his pockets, in his jacket pockets. Probably before that, it's all in a briefcase. You'll just scoop them all back up again. I mean, there's no moving parts. It's shells and a pea. Positives. All right, so what are the positives? It's a fun, engaging routine. Who doesn't love a good Monty trick or a good cups and balls trick or a good shells effect? Like I said, if you're a street performer or if you're a busker, it's almost required of you to do one of these. Plus, this is a great closer for a virtual or live show. I mean, obviously, you could do this as social media content as well. Is it worth your money? Like I said, it's $75. $75, and these are 3D printed props, hand painted and glossed. Again, Louie doesn't have a middleman. When you buy this from hocus-pocus.com, you are supporting Louie and his family. All right, that's everything I can say about the Russian shell game from Louie Foxx. Of course, this is a hocus-pocus.com exclusive. There's no other place that you can get this. I want to thank Hocus Pocus and Louie Foxx for allowing me to have this so that I can do the review for you, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Hey, and before I go, I just want to let you know that if you're looking for a friendly community made up of professional and amateur magicians just like yourself, be sure to check out the Magicians Forum at themagiciansforum.com. The Magicians Forum is helpful, clean, and you'll be able to ask questions and receive advice from people who know what they're talking about. Come see where masters like Harry Lorraine and Pop Hayden hang out. Oh, and of course, I'm there too. Looking forward to seeing you. Have a great week.